Yeah. Hey there, Regina Antley here, and it's time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, our theme is all about AI workflows. And we had a post that went out this week with a quote on it, and I actually love this quote. The quote says, "If you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing." It's by W. Edwards Deming. And that is so true. If you can't describe what you're doing and build it into a process, then eventually it's going to fall apart. Eventually it's going to not quite work as well as it used to. We need processes and workflows in our business to keep things consistent. The other reason why we need them and want them is so that maybe we want to decide to hire a VA or do something different in our business and we want to expand out. Having those workflows and processes in place is the way you keep things moving, the way you stay consistent, the way you reach out, the way you work with your VAs. Everything is based on your processes and your workflows. And one of the things that many coaches and consultants just don't consider are the details of those workflows. Now, here's the thing. In this day and age of AI, we're talking about AI workflows today. So what is a workflow? A workflow is basically any set of steps that you're doing. It's a process. It's that thing you do over and over and over again the same way. So maybe you create content every week. Maybe you do bookkeeping every week. Maybe you do your onboarding for your clients the same way every time a new client comes in. Maybe you do your articles, your blogs, whatever it is that you're doing the same way every week. That's a workflow. You probably have a ton of workflows and you don't even realize that you have a ton of workflows going right now, but you do. It's that stuff that you do routinely over and over and over again. It's a workflow. Creating it into a process workflow is what I'm talking about here, meaning it's something that you can document. And then that way, if you want to hand it off to somebody else, you can. Now, AI workflows, AI is like the best thing for workflows, because say you're thinking about just outsourcing something and you say, well, I'm not quite ready to hire a VA yet. I don't have the income coming in to hire a VA. You can get AI set up to do the workflow for you. So basically it's a really cheap, we're talking like maybe you're paying for ChatGPT at $20 a month or something like that. Claude, Gemini, that's a cheap VA to have. And it can do so much work and it can do it 24/7. So here are some tips about creating an AI workflow to help you save time and reclaim some of your day and get you doing what you do best so you can start bringing in that income, right? What you do best is working with your clients. If you're spending all your time creating content and onboarding people and sending out emails and doing all this stuff, is that necessary for your business? Absolutely. But if you're doing all that stuff, when are you actually working with your clients? The stuff that actually brings the income into your business. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about freeing up your time using AI workflows. So the first thing to do is pick that one task that you do over and over and over. Maybe it's something you do every day. Maybe it's something you do once a week. Maybe it's creating that social media content. Maybe it's scheduling calls. Maybe it's responding to inquiries about your business. Figure out what that is and build a workflow around it. So once you decide what that thing is that you do over and over and over again, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down every step. Do not leave out any spots. Once back in my techie days, when I was learning how to flow chart, which is basically writing down every step, somebody asked me, how many steps does it take to light a match? And I said, well, at the time, matchbooks were a popular thing. I said, well, you open up the cover, you take out a match, you close the cover, you strike the match, you're done. I don't know, what's that, 4 or 5 steps? He said to me, he goes, there's actually like 28 steps to lighting a match. And I had him explain, because I said, No way. How can you get all of that out of opening this book, pulling the match? It was literally because he went into every single little piece of detail around letting a match. That was for creating the flow chart, which is a workflow. That workflow of all those little pieces that you do. So when you try to explain to somebody, have you ever worked with a VA and you told them what you wanted them to do, and then they came back and they didn't do it the way you wanted it? As they say, the devil's in the details. So write it out. Write down every single step, and not just the big steps, all the little things that go with it. If it's about content, the little nuances about the tone and the context and all of the other things that you want built in. Write down every single step of that process so that you can create it into an AI workflow. Now, once you get every step written down, the next thing is to streamline it with AI. Now, let's pick a couple simple ones. Maybe you want to streamline your calendar, your scheduling, right? So a tool like Calendly can help you out by handling all of your meeting scheduling. And what does that mean? That means no more back and forth saying, hey, I'm available on Tuesday from 10 to 2 and Thursday from 1 to 3. Do either of those times work for you? And now you're playing email tag back and forth. You just bring up your calendar, let your calendar do the work. And Calendly, like most other apps nowadays, has AI apps built in. There's all kinds of AI built in everywhere now that help you respond quicker, send out reminder emails. Otter AI, if you're in meetings all day long and you're saying, well, I'm losing a lot of time by going to these meetings, you can actually have your Otter AI show up for you when you're not there and then send you the meeting notes of the important things that you need to know. Otter AI can do that. So, and if you're one of those people that likes to attend meetings and then you get bogged down going, I don't even remember what was said because I was so busy writing down notes that I missed half the meeting. Well, again, Otter AI is one of those apps that will keep track of everything that's being said during a meeting. So you can pay full attention to what's going on in the meeting and then get the notes afterwards so you don't miss a thing. All driven by AI. Stuff like Grammarly. Grammarly is a simple app that's checking your spelling. It's checking your sentence structure. It makes you look like you can actually be professional. I don't know about you. I'm one of those people that when people spell things wrong, and I do it all the time, but I always spell check my stuff because I do it constantly. But when people post stuff and they have lots of mistakes in it, it just drives me crazy. And it drives me crazy just because I want to go correct it. That's just the type of person I am. So it also doesn't come across as professional either. So using a tool like Grammarly will help you polish that stuff up. So when you think about creating an AI workflow, there's all kinds of ways you can do it. And these are like high level surface ones. I mean, Calendly, Otter, Grammarly, those are all really simple tools that have free versions or inexpensive versions that you can use that can free up your time in many ways and take some of those things that you're doing constantly and free up your time. And then there's a whole nother level with AI these days where you can create agents, you can create GPTs, you can create gems. We're not going to go down the rabbit hole of all of them because each one of them is its own thing. You can create workflows out of literally anything that you're doing these days as long as you have that written process. So the key here for the workflows, whether it's just a regular workflow you're going to turn over to somebody or do yourself or move it into AI, is writing down every single step by step, even the little tiny pieces that you don't think about because it just comes so naturally. Those things that you say, well, duh, of course you're going to do that. Well, you know what? Somebody else might not know that, and AI certainly doesn't know that. Because AI is looking for step by step by step. It's looking for those 28 steps on how to light a match. It's looking for the detailed instructions on how to do something. As soon as you give it those detailed instructions, now it's off doing it and it's off your plate. So that's the power of creating workflows. It's to save up your time. And with AI these days, there's so many different ways you can use AI to free up your time. So what are you going to pick this week? What are you doing over and over and over? That one thing that this week, all week, you're like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. It's on your to-do list every single week. What is that thing that you're going to sit down, write out the process, and say, how can AI help me? Now, here's the thing. Here's a real fun part. If you say, I don't know how AI can help me. I'm kind of new to AI, or even I've been using AI and I'm not sure. Write out this process step by step by step by step. Make sure you go through it and don't miss any steps. And then take that and put it into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and say, hey, I'm looking to create an AI workflow for this process. Please help me create this workflow. It will tell and tell it, including any specific tools that I might want to use, any details that I'm missing. Please help me fill in any blanks that I might have left out. You know, if you're like me and said, oh yeah, there's like 5 steps to lighting a match, and he says there's 28, and I'm like, wait, what? I can go to AI now and say, okay, I thought there was like 5, there's like 28. Can you spell out the rest of the steps for lighting a match? It will do it for me. So use AI to help you create your workflow. That's the power of it. And it will save us so much time. Once you have it set, it's almost a set it and forget it. And unless the process changes, unless the workflow changes, something in there changes, then it's pretty much you just go. And when you're ready to do that task, hey, AI, go take care of that for me. You go do something else. You come back and it's done. That is how we want to use workflows. So pick something this week. Pick that task that you know you have on your to-do list every single week and write out the workflow. And again, if you get stuck or you're not sure if you have all the steps, you're not sure if you drilled down deep enough, put it into AI and ask AI to fill the rest out. Tell AI, I'm creating a workflow and I want to create an AI workflow for this so you can do it automatically. So you or some other AI tool can do it automatically. Please suggest whether this would be best as a GPT, a Gem, in a specific app like Calendly, Otter, whatever. You can actually spell it out when you put it into your AI app and ask it for help, and it will pretty much create it for you. So that's what I've got for you this week. Thanks for joining me. We will see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.